Well, good then, Christina. While you're away, I'm going to go and save this project. I just saved project, really. Oversave whatever I had done earlier. And let's see if we can import a dress that already exists, import it into Marvelous Designer, and see if we can extract the patterns from it. I'd be excited about that. Let's go and do this. We don't need the 3D window anymore. And I think we're going to go we're going to use a different avatar for that. So we'll go delete this avatar. I have to check what model that dress is for. So let's have a quick look. It is, isn't it? This is something I've been meaning to try out for a while. So there's an option, and I think this is a fairly recent option in both Marvelous Designer and in CLO. So let's grab ourselves, I think, was it in Wardrobe? This is especially cool for older content if you want to do something else with it. This is called, this one here, was it that one? Go-Go outfit. Go-Go, not just everything, just the dress. There we go. In filament, by the way, DAZ Studio in filament, looking handsome as ever. Very nice. We have material presets here as well. Higher ones for the wardrobe. So we've got this. Ah, no, we haven't. We need to select this, of course. We've got this, and we've got that. Loving the real-timicity. Is that a word? I don't really know. Oh, we have that. Oh, we have that. I think maybe, I don't think the textures make a big difference here now. But what I'd like to try is use this dress and just give it sleeves. If I wanted to turn this into something, you know, that just has sleeves. So we'll see if I can do that. I'm trying to go and export this out as OBJ. So I'll lose the rigging. Totally fine with that. I want to drape it in Marvelous Designer anyway, or in CLO. And I'll call that pattern test. How about that? Pattern test, and this is going to be the Go-Go dress. And I'll basically save everything except for the surfaces because I'm not interested in bringing the textures across. That's fine. But the scale is 1 centimeter. And this is actually not the selection tool. There we go. Good stuff. See, this is sometimes exactly how it works, Brian. I'm a big fan of making videos that would be too simple for me, but they're useful for someone else. It's always a good indication that perhaps we should just go and just make it available for everyone to enjoy. On your life, thank you so much for following. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Let's go into the pattern test, and I can import OBJs just regularly into things, but the dialogue's kind of funky here. So if I go here, I can say automatically add arrangement points. I don't want to do that. Also, I don't really want this to be an avatar. This is supposed to be a garment. And now I have this option to say trace 2D patterns from UV map. Let's see what happens there. And it's in DAZ Studio format, align bottom to ground. I don't think I want to do that either because that is just, it's supposed to just come in as it is. Let's see what happens. See if it works. I've never tried this. Very, very exciting. So the patterns are not perfect, but they are patterns. And they are also, if I see this correctly, they're also already sewn together. That is seriously cool. That is seriously, seriously cool. Because this means now I can go to work on this, I can go to town on this, and I can make amendments and make it longer, shorter, or whatnot. I mean, this is the simplest thing to just make this longer. Also refitting it. So this is originally a Genesis 3 dress. Let me go and add an avatar to this, which is now Genesis 8. Let me see. I think this is in here. Genesis 8 female. Open her. And here we have some other options. So avatar open. This is going to be centimeters. And that's really all. We need to add it. We want to add it to the scene. Don't replace it. And we want to align this bottom to the ground. Let's see if that works. Boom. Oh my. It was that easy, seriously? Sometimes I'm puzzled by that, if it's literally that easy. Oh yeah, also, I'm going to make the avatar a little bit darker, just so that we don't get distracted here. Select all faces, I can say. And then just on the bottom here, under color, I just go and pick something like a darkish color. That's fine. That's cool. And then quickly deselect it because it looks all scary. So intersections with the avatar isn't really a problem. Marvelous Designer can deal with that, or CLO rather. There's also up here in this top left corner here, the white arrow, or the kind of light arrow, means it's CPU simulation, but you can also use GPU simulation. So that is like 10 times faster or so, and it's still very accurate. There's also this one here that's good for animation, so that then takes even longer. We'll just use let's try GPU. See what happens when we do that. Turn off render to simulate. I thought it was off. It wasn't. Sorry about that. Turn it off. So not everything is sewn. So we need to sew. We did a little bit of sewing work here. The sides are sewn properly. This is kind of the cool thing now. You can literally treat this as if it's real material. So just pull it out of the body. You make it wider, you make it longer, you make it more wafty, whatnot. So these things here, they need to be sewn together. We can do that. In the 2D or the 3D window. So for that, let's see if they're actually segments here. So that's the bottom line here. We could just go and move these around. So these are technically above the skirt. So let's go select both and just put them here. That just makes more sense. There, and this is not, you don't have to do this. They can be literally anywhere in the 2D window. It's just, it makes more sense that we see that this is the front now. Is it the front? This is the back. This is the front. Okay, and this is also the front. And this is, no, this is the front. Okay, so let's go move this over here. Actually, leave that here. Move that away. Put that underneath there. That makes more sense. That's true. Yes, the blue dot is that certainly helps. I just wanted to arrange this in the 2D window so that it makes more sense here. So the blue dot Christina was saying is that if you don't know what's where on a pattern, so if I'm trying to find out where is this, I can go and click on the 3D pattern, and you see on the 2D pattern, you see the blue dot there. So that's the segment sewing that I need to implement here. From here to there. And then I would imagine, just checking, this is that, and then this on the bottom, this is that. Okay, so that's another segment we can go and sew. And simulate. Boom! Dress is sewn. Ha! Very cool. That is very cool. And so yes, they're not, it's not perfect. So you could put a dart here, and on the other side you could make it, you could tie it up for something that came in as a UV. I mean, unbelievable. That is very cool. See if I can manage to make a sleeve here. Right. It's the wrinkles. Yes, that makes sense. Because if I looked at when I look at the texture, that was actually fairly plain. You could even go ahead and now go and trace over this and literally redo it, and then do it with proper symmetry and all that. The potential, I mean, whoa. Sleeves, come on, let's make sleeves. Something just up to here. I'll go and start with maybe, I always forget the shortcuts. Is it this? S is a rectangle. Yeah, okay. Rectangle. Oh, that's nice. No thanks. I'm gonna just go draw this out because I don't quite know where this is going. So I'm thinking, so I'm just gonna start with something. One sleeve. This probably needs to be, I can't tell yet. Might need to be a bit wider. And there's also arrangement points that we can use for placing these things a little bit better. F, just like in Unreal Engine, focuses on the object. That's quite nice. I've learned that already. I'm so happy when I see shortcuts that are literally that I know already. Makes me feel right at home. Yeah, I might make it a bit wider, so that I'll see how it goes. This now needs to be kind of a bulge, so this is going to become like a D shape. And I also forgot the shortcut for that. Is it C? It could be. Is it edit curvature? I think it's smooth curve I think I'm looking for. No, it's not. It's probably edit curve. Yes, this is it. So I just added something like this. Wider, yeah, okay. Let's do that now then. Let me go undo it. I'll make it wider now. Two-thirds, you think? This looks a bit too wide. I'm just thinking it's going to go around her arm. I think that was a bit much. Let's try 5 centimeters. You're the expert. I do trust your judgment. What do you think of this? This is now 30 centimeters in length. That might be... We can always make it shorter afterwards, I think. It's easy to do a sleeve. I'll edit the curvature now and we'll see what happens. Like this. Let's see. On this I'll go and bring this back a little bit. And so now, this is kind of an interesting concept. This is one segment, and the other part is a second segment. So I've learned this trick from Travis, that if you wanted to split this line, I think you could just go split, uniform split into 2. That gives you this point here. And now I can go... and use the segment sewing tool for that. So this goes onto here. This goes onto here. Let's see if it works. Kind of does. Very nice, isn't it? The cap's too high. Yeah, we can make that a bit less high. Let's see how it goes. And then we tuck this in a little bit as well, I'm thinking. Let me see if I can I shorten this line? It'd be lovely if I could change length. That's the spirit. It's currently that, so maybe we'll make it 30 instead. Yeah, almost. That's. I wonder if there's another option there. Change length, lock curve points, direction, start, both. Oh my goodness, yes, that's the kind of thing we're looking for. This is nice. Then they're not that baggy. I think maybe even shorter. I'll do that. Segment sewing. Kind of. Can we look at it this way? Just about, I think so. From here. Oh, come on. From here to here. Yes. Okay. It's a bit baggy, but it's, you know, it's a test. It's could just make the whole thing a little bit less wide, I guess. Go on. I remember you said it, Rod, and I don't think no, actually, did we see it? I don't quite remember if Julia and I were, if we had seen it. I'm just going to go and make this, tuck this in a bit here. I think we have, and yes, Rod, I kept telling you this. I think it's a great idea to do that. To make videos of your creative process. I think it's an awesome idea. And if ever you feel like doing it live, go for it. You don't have to, I mean, like Brian does. Brian sometimes records his creative process and then he makes a premiere out of it, which is also a great way of doing it. See, there we go. There's some feedback for you. Shall I just go mirror paste this? I might do that. Put this here, go. Unless there's a better way, I would just go and copy this, and then I'd go and mirror paste this kind of here. And go pop that in here. Is the sewing intact still at the bottom? I don't really know. Symmetrical with sewing. Aha. So that's still with copy, right? Copy and then symmetrical with sewing. I don't see that here. This is maybe on here. Duplicate. Oh, there we go. Symmetric pattern with sewing. Control D. There you go. This is exactly what I thought in my mind. There's got to be a more elegant solution to this. Those are the kinds of tips that are so valuable, Christina. Awesome. So now let's just check the sewing on the So the sewing on the bottom is probably intact still, and the sewing here I just need to redo now. Segment sewing, this to here. Did you try out auto sewing yet, Christina? I saw the video. But I haven't tried it myself. Oh my goodness, I forgot, lost your message. Superimpose, yes, that is all. Oh, you can use that here as well. Oh, nice one. Thank you. Yes, I've seen that feature. Superimpose is very cool. I had a skirt that needed a seam at the bottom, and it was just a circle skirt, so there was a lot of folds at the bottom. And then I had a really wide strap that needed to be the seam on that, and I was thinking, how am I going to do that? Superimpose. It literally just went, and that was just, it fits so well. Do you know what? Let me actually try this again with your instructions. Let me go and just delete this because it's just so quick and easy to do. So I'll go and right click this and say symmetric pattern with sewing. And I'll just drop that here, kind of here-ish. Let me see now in the 3D view. I'm not sure what I would be selecting here. Oh, there's superimpose. Right, okay. Superimpose, yes, how did I do that? I think superimpose, wasn't that something in which you needed to select something else first? And then you select whatever, and then you can superimpose? Or maybe it's not working because... I don't know. Good question. Yes, that's the grayed out thing. Maybe it needs to be closer. Let me try again. No. Still grayed out. Does segment sewing have a shortcut, actually? Yes, N. Perfect. Now I know. But I think the bottom seam is intact, so we're good on that front. There we go. And there. So no darts in here. That's fitting can be improved here, of course. But hey, we've got sleeves on a dress that we didn't even make. That is exciting. Let's put a collar on and a seam at the bottom. And then also play with the fit a bit better. Do all kinds of things with it. Very cool. Make it wider, make it longer. That's the other beautiful thing. If we wanted to have a longer skirt, we could just go and say, just select the two bottom things here. And I suppose left click, then right click and say, great, distance move. Let's say 10 centimeters longer. Got a longer skirt. That's cool. Oh, there's an extra point that got smuggled in here. What happened there? We don't want to do that. This may have destroyed the sewing. Yeah, I think it's destroyed the sewing. Maybe I like the shorter version better anyway, so let's go back. There, much better. Here's a challenge for me. Okay. A lace panel around her midriff with transparency. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Like you mean here? Oop. I think yeah. So the way I would do it is to go this. So this is not an accurate pattern. There's some spurious additional points here. So if you do this on a clean pattern, you'd probably go, and correct me if I'm wrong there, Christina. I'd use the split line tool, something like here. If you were to try that, and no, actually, sorry, put an internal line in here from point to point. And then turn that piece into a different piece of fabric. That's what I would do. You can also just add something like on the top. So one idea would be to put different fabric in the middle, or if you just want some decoration on it, you can do that. Like what I did with my WP Guru logo, you can just add other kinds of things on there. So like internal. No, that's not here. Is this it? No, this is it. Here. Internal line. There we go. Yeah, so there's lots of points here. So usually on a clean thing, it would it will look kind of better. Oh yeah, with this now, you can say, oh, was that not it? Let me try this again. Internal line from here to there. Enter to make that happen. And you can right click that and offset as internal line by say 2 centimeters. I don't know if 2 is enough. Maybe that's not enough. Maybe we need something a bit larger. Don't know. Yeah, let me actually undo that and make it a bit wider. Offset as internal line, make it 5 centimeters. You can also have multiple offsets, that's quite nice too. Like this. Oh no, that's not what I meant. It kind of doesn't want to do that. I thought there's some magic involved that will place these points onto the outsides directly. Oh, you know, that's an even better idea. Christina, that's actually, let me do that. That's an even better idea. Let me delete those. And if this was a straight line, which it isn't, that's actually a much better idea. Offset this as an internal line. Yeah, that's nice. And make it 6 centimeters. And the preview tells you where that is. So we want to extend that. That is doing the magic that I thought. Reverse direction would make it the opposite side. But yeah, this now does exactly what I thought we should have. Groovy. And then on here, you can then say cut and sew. That offsets this. And I suppose we'd need to do the same on the other end. Which, why don't we? 6 centimeters, and that looks nice. And on here also cut and sew. So the length or not, whatnot hasn't changed, but we now have a different piece of fabric in here, and I can then dedicate this to something else with different materials. So this can have transparency, this can have whatnot, literally anything. Let's try that as a demo. I don't know if we have any lace materials in here, but if I give this a new material here, is that a duplicate button somewhere here? This one? No, that's not it. What's this? Not a duplicate button. Add print. No, add print. No, that's not what I want to do. How do I duplicate a pattern here? Magic and a touch of voodoo. Oh, this is the object. This is the fabric, isn't it? I thought that was an easy way to just duplicate stuff. We can just add a new material, I guess. And we'll call this one lace. See if we have lace. Can we search? And hit return. We don't have lace. Sorry, Rod. No lace. Or maybe we have substance lace. That could be. There's no substance lace, I'm afraid. I thought so too. Oh, there's copy. That's what I was looking for. Oh, thank you, Christina. Let's try that. So I'll do this. I'll say copy. There we go. That's perfect. And now I'll call this, I don't know. I'll just call this midriff. And perhaps I'll just use this tartan. It'll be the tartan midriff. So that'll just put that on the material. But now we need to assign this material to this actual section here. And that we can do, I think, just by clicking that pattern and that pattern. And then with this, we go and hit this actually, assign button, which is so dangerously close to the put in the trash can button, which I'm not entirely fond of. Oh yeah, you upload some lace. That's a good idea. Excellent, Christina. Thanks. Will it be a substance material? Meanwhile, while you do that, maybe we can discuss what the rest of the dress should look like. And then we can maybe add some seam lines and stitching to it. Denim fabric, yeah, we can try it. Let's try denim fabric. We can always change the color. It doesn't have to stay that way. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's nice. If that's as awesome as I thought. Let's see if I have any of Travis's materials that might work better. I don't think there's lace in there, so yeah, your lace is much appreciated. Yes, actually, Brian, let's get to that next. That's a very good question. There's a ton of materials. So this is something I didn't even know. It makes sense. I've read about this yesterday. There is in Laurie's book, actually, Understanding Marvelous Designer. $25 a year, but seriously worth it. Let me just go find the patterns here. Tileable fabrics, and they just say they're substance materials, but they don't have a preview. I think these ones have previews here. They just call, but they don't show up, do they? Ah, what a shame. Let's see if I can find it in the regular browser. So yes, every material has something called a grain direction. I think they call it a grain, and they have this. If you take your whatever you're wearing and you pull it like this, you'll notice that it has different properties than when you pull it like that. So up and down is a different property than left and right. So in my case, this t-shirt stretches more this way than that way, and this is called the warp, I think, and this is called the weft. It's crazy stuff, and Marvelous Designer knows about all this, and so there's like tons of properties, and it depends on how you turn the material as well. It's unbelievably deep. So yes, it can literally simulate every property of every material that you can think of, and it has tons of presets built in. All 56 materials. Let's see what we want here. If there's anything we think we can use, maybe this one here. If this is number 1 or number 3, that sounds like a plan. And number 1 and number 3 aren't on here. Dang, brother. Oh, there. What? Okay, let's say 1. Let's say 1. See what that looks like. Takes a moment, I think. Yes, takes a moment. It is total crazy, and you can then have that independently from the actual material you're putting on. So you can say, I'd like for it to look like leather but behave like silk, if you wanted to do that. So this, we're waiting for the lace to appear. If you don't want this to be dark gray, I think you can override that somewhere. But physical properties, yeah, this is where that is. So on a fabric, so this is on the fabric. So I'll just call this one cloth here, that we know what that is. This material is also, this is another thing, Brian. So you have the front material, you have the back of that material that you can assign a different material to, like a lining on a jacket. You can have black on the outside and something really funky and colorful on the inside, and even on the side. So that's crazy. You can assign different materials. Currently it's using the same, but you can use a different material and make just amazing designs with that. Physical properties, that's down here, and that's like, the list is just is big, man. And it literally has, these are literally all properties that if you were to, I don't know, I'm going to put linen. If you open the details panel, you see all these things that these are the properties. Like some we know from things like D-Force. 180 meg, excellent. We're dealing with professional quality here, of course. I love it, Christina, that's very cool. So friction and density, and I think we're used to things like buckling, but like buckling ratio weft and warp, and then you have bending weft and warp, you have stretch weft and warp. It's unbelievable. You can dial these in individually, or you can just go and pick one that you see here. If this would be a roomier dress, you would see this more. But what's really cool is that when you have, this is not a very complicated garment, but if you had one, you can literally make sure it fits properly. So you can literally adjust it like this, which is great. And then whereas you freeze the simulation like we have done now, all these wrinkles here, they're now literally in the OBJ if you were to export it. That's very cool. And of course you can import animations into this, Brian. I know that is interesting for you. I think with this avatar, I don't have any right now. But yeah, this is how you can literally dress up your lady. Or your guy, or design handbags, or make beds, or drape curtains and all that. Ah, no worries, Christina, we're here. I think this is just a fabulous way to play around. I'm thinking I might give her a collar. While we're here, collar is fairly simple to do. If I can remember how to do it. We can just maybe put the lace material on the collar as well. See if I can eyeball that. That's also just a rectangle, I think. And this is purely eyeballed. It might not even look good. I should save this before my machine crashes. Don't know if it's about to do that or if Marvelous Design is just thinking about it. There we go. That's nice. I think with this, I'm just going to give that the regular fabric here. Oi. Assign. This is the trash can icon, isn't it? Terrible. This is the assign icon. So I don't know if it's too big or whatnot. I'll just put that in place. Also without the arrangement points. Arrangement points are fascinating things to use as well. It also acknowledges normals. So the normals are now on the front. So technically if I wrap this around like that, they'll be on the back. But there's remedy for that. I can just go right click and say flip normal. And then the normals are now on the other side. And this, I think I might just go and, I could do this with something called the end-to-M sewing or M-to-N sewing. That would be if I have two segments here, 1 and 2 down here, and I only have 1 here. So I think I can go and use this M-to-N sewing, which means I can say one of my pieces has one part, but the other one has 2. I could use that, but I don't really know how the directions are going to be acknowledged. So I think instead of doing that, I'll just use my other trick that I right click and say right click the line and say split line, uniform split. And now it should have, if I've done it correctly, should have that split here. Yes, it does. That's cool. So I can use normal segment sewing now, which means that, oh no, I don't. I can't. I see. No. I want the cup bit at the front. I think that is what I'm trying to do. So I think I need to actually use free sewing. Or I split this line as well. I could do that. Then that would be This would be 2, the end would be 2, and we'd have, yeah, let's maybe do that. That's a good idea. And then we have, let's do that. That's much better. Totally came up with the master plan here. This one, oh no, this is the extra additional points here. Free sewing it is. The collar might not have been the best idea on this design of the dress. Okay, free sewing. Free end-to-end sewing. That's gotta be the best. So start here. That's one part done. Now the other part. So I started here. I'm going to go and do this from here. This may well not work. Yeah, I think it's not going to work. All right, thank you, Christina. Let me go pick that up. And in fact, let's not worry about the collar. I don't think it's going to work. We'll do it another day with something else. This is not a very accurate pattern. If you make this yourself, it's easier to do. Let's go grab the lace just as soon as I have my thing responding again. Perfect. And also, I'd like to go and save what we've done here. Save project. And I'll go and put that into a new folder, and I'll call it Oh my goodness, Beard Goblin, good night. Yes, I didn't even see you leave. I was so involved, and this is how the time just flies with Marvelous Designer. It's absolutely crazy. So this is the Go-Go dress. Just so that I remember what I did here. Go-Go dress. There, now let me go quickly go grab that link out. Lace, all right. I would like to save this file, yes please. And this is a PNG, did you say? No, looks like I've got it twice. It is so nice, I've got it twice. Let me just go close some of these things down here. Righty, lace. So that's now, if we go into the midriff section, I'll close the physical properties down again. So now I need to go and change this back to PBR material, right? Let's try it out. We'll try it out. Go to PBR material. Now go and add a texture, which is now, oh, crazy. Leg, face, arms. Oh my goodness. It's an eye looking at me. It's crazy. Now I go to downloads and add that lace here. Lace. All right. Looks like it has transparency. I think I can see her color underneath here. Great. So I can, under texture here, I can go and say desaturate on and off. If I select that, then it'll be white. Whoops. Come on. Now it's white. And I think I can also add a color if I wanted to have a different color, if I want to have that pink or whatnot, and it does that. And I suppose we can also play with the tiling, I suppose. And the angle. Is this where I do the tiling here? Width and height, if I make that, I don't know, 50 and 50, yeah, that's how I do that. Or just use percentage, yeah, that's not a bad call either. Yeah, let me undo that. I'll do it like this, and then I say log aspect ratio and just do that 50% or whatever. Yeah. Oh, right, okay. I think I found it, Christina. I think I found it. So 50%, or make it like whatever, 30%. And yes, once simulated, you can then still go and, you know, fiddle with where you exactly want that midriff thing, if there's enough give in the dress. Oh yeah, and then also one other thing not to be forgotten. If this looks a little bit too chunky here right now, that's because the particle distance of the dress is a bit too large. So the particle distance is essentially like subdivision. But watch what happens if we go and select all these faces here. Can I do that? So I think I can just go and select the whole cloth thing here. If I could only remember where that was now. Was it custom properties? No, I don't think that was it. Transformation. This is all the material stuff. Oh, look at that. You painted that, Christina. So this does not come from Substance Designer. You've made that. Yeah, I see here, this is an interesting example. The points, there's an extra point here. That's why we see that gap. And that's just because it's not an accurate pattern. It was just imported from the UVs. I'm trying to find the particle distance here. I can't seem to find it. Is it under physical properties? No, that's not it. Yeah, I've forgotten where that is. It's also in here, and that just essentially puts more detail in the mesh. I can't seem to find that at all. It's kind of another tab that comes up here, but I just don't seem to... There we go. That's it. Side geometry, not selected line. Simulation properties, particle distance, that's it. So I need to select all these pieces for that. I thought there was a way to do that. Select all with that property. Select all faces. Wasn't there something that I saw? I might just have to select them on the 2D window if that's easier. So like everything essentially. Oops. And then we can say particle distance. Right, select all the patterns, right, thanks. So then I can say 10, and this is now going to subdivide the hell out of this. And once we've done that, we can go and re-simulate the garment, I think. And that should get rid of the chunkiness here. Don't know if we're actually still simulating it or not. No, it's still thinking about it. There, so re-simulate. And that now gives, there should be more detail now in the dress. 10 is still high, so you can go even lower than that, like 5. There's also gravity that you can mess with. Let's try 5. And also, sometimes you can get better results with the CPU simulation rather than the GPU simulation. Even though this is faster, sometimes it's almost too fast. So it depends on how much detail is in the garment as well. So I'll just go back to my 24 CPU cores of simulation. See what that is. See what that does. Yes, look at that. This looks much nicer now. So there's more wrinkles and all that in here. But I can also tell that my computer is now literally slowed down. So it's 5 that's a lot of work for the poor program. And it's mainly noticeable when you start moving the garment. He doesn't really want to move anymore. He's 5 is that's tough. Also, the simulation is still going, so even though we don't see a difference here, it still is simulating because it is still active. So if I wanted to pick up material, it will still do that, but you can tell it's now extremely slow to do that. Let me go switch back to GPU. That does make a major difference. Come on. Fast GPU, come on. We want fastness. There's a bug actually, I told them about this. There's gravity that you can use here in Marvelous Designer or in CLO. And gravity is always set to Earth gravity. So if you put a piece of cloth in the air, it just falls down. Everything always falls down. But sometimes that's not desirable. So sometimes you may want to, yeah, see this is a bit faster now. So it's now actually responsive. And my computer a moment ago wasn't even responsive anymore. Yeah, so gravity is set to Earth gravity, but if you wanted to not have that, so if you want to build a balloon or something, you can go and set that to 0, and then things won't fall down. They will just stay where they are. There's even pressure, so if you want to make something like a balloon or so, you can go and set that to, I might go back to 10. 5 is a bit much, so 10 is nice. You can even set that to internal pressure, so something, if you sew two things together, they just go whoop. That is nice. Like what I did with the balloons. Whoops. This happens, if you ever see this happens because the simulation wasn't active. So let's go make sure it simulates. Wait a second. ISS gravity, that's the one. There we go. And now you can pinch the skirt again and do all kinds of, moving around with the cloth. So I think this is great. I mean, this isn't, it's not perfect as it comes in when you import an existing garment, but you can certainly use this as a wonderful starting point, especially to examine, hey, how's this thing been made? And how do you want to amend it? So like we added this little midriff section, we added sleeves that weren't there. We could put all kinds of stitch work on that. I don't think I'll do that now, but there's just all kinds of opportunities in there. This is very, very exciting. There we go. I think 10, yes. Oh, also, did you see there was a way you don't have to do particle distance or particle distance everywhere. You can select parts of the garment, and then you can say, well, this needs a little bit more. If you wanted more crinkles around the arm, or if you wanted more crinkles on the section that throws a lot of folds, you can paint that and then say, this, I'd like for that to be a higher particle density than everything else. Like, so this piece up here, that doesn't even need 10, I think. See if I can make that happen. I haven't tried that out yet. Do you know how that works, Christina? If I wanted to, let's display the geometry here. Yeah, this is very dense everywhere, and it doesn't need to be that dense. I'll go back to 3D only. Yeah, how do we paint a selection here? Because you can just go paint something and then let's say change the particle distance for that. Oh, that is nice. Yes, that's on the whole piece, Christina, that's true. But there is a way that you can select an area on a piece. I'm trying to figure out where that is. I'm sure it's on the 3D garment thing. Select lasso. Let's try that. So if I'm thinking like this whole piece here, that doesn't need that big a particle distance. I think you can do that. Well, that didn't go so well. Let's just say all of this, just as a test. Select that, and then you go, and then you go, custom resolution. Can you do that? No, that's not it. Forget that. That wasn't it. Or is it just in here? Can I just go and say particle distance of that is now, let's say 20? Is that how it works? Oh, that's an MD feature. Oh, okay. Oh, right, that's an MD feature. Interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. Yes, it's done that now. Yes, it basically changed the whole thing. Let me undo that. Do you know, while we're here, let's try this out in Marvelous Designer, just because I'm curious about it. I'm going to go and save this project. Let's do it. While we're here, you know, night's still young. That makes perfect sense that CLO doesn't actually have that feature. And while it is saving that, I'm just going to go and open up Marvelous Designer in a new, just as an instance thing here. I wonder what happens if you change it with Marvelous Designer and then load it back into CLO. Universe. So Rod, does that mean you're a bachelor now for a few days? Are you going to join them at Joe's brother's place? Open project. Oh, okay. Go Dress. Go Dress in Marvelous Designer. So yeah, the apps look almost identical. We get all kinds of bug reporting features at the top here that we don't get in CLO, by the way. Like, you know, the Marvelous Designer store is here as well. That doesn't have that in CLO. Righty, so let's see if we can change the resolution per piece in Marvelous Designer. I do find it's more responsive, Marvelous Designer. That is, you know, off the bat, I must say. So if I go to here, select lasso, selection works the same. Okay, good to know. Or it might crash the apps. That is also possible. I've had that with things that Marvelous Designer doesn't have. When I set something up in CLO, Marvelous Designer didn't quite like that. So then, how would we do that then? Oh yeah, let's try that first that we tried. Particle distance here, if I just make that 20. Now it does that for the whole piece as well, so that was not the way to do it. There's got to be another way to do it. Select this area. Maybe right click, subdivide. Oh yeah, that's subdivide, but that'll just make more resolution there, not less. I see, so it works that way around, but you can't make less resolution somewhere. You can only give a portion more resolution. So that's actually fairly easy to do then. You just pick something and then right click and say subdivide. Right, yeah, we definitely don't have that feature in CLO. It's actually still saving. Oops. Oh, right. Oh, I see, Rod. Right. Oh, man, that just sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, I think have I crashed CLO? I can't tell. It appears to still be saving. No, I can see that. I can see why that is. Yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah, a school friend of mine has just died. I'm feeling the effects of that as well. So it's not something that passes you by lightly. So I totally appreciate that. That's the effect of things like that. Oh, you can do lasso selection in here too. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Interesting. 4 pattern pieces. Select, and I'm just going to go and put the particle distance overall to 10. I think that's just nicer. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really been in touch for many years, but we knew each other, and he's 49, and people dying at 49 is just, you think, no, it shouldn't be like that. There. Dress from DAZ Studio into CLO. I think CLO's crashed. I think it's officially no longer with us. Don't think I can even close it again. That's, oh, there we go. Let's just pretend that never happened. Let me go back to the surface here. And not display the geometry. Oh, that's only that or that. Sorry, press the wrong button there. Cough button. Do you know, Rod, 2020 exactly. Let it be over soon. I wish I knew how to change the material back here. So I don't know why this is now so... I'm sure I've put some kind of other thing on. I don't know what I did here. Oh, stretch maps. Interesting. Yeah, I really don't know what I did here. I might just go close this and not save it. And I might just go say goodnight, actually. We've been on air 3 hours. That is quite exciting. I think this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much to everyone who's dropped by and to all the funky tips that I got here. Thanks to Christina and to Beard Goblin as well. I really appreciate us hanging out here. Let's do more of this tomorrow. I'm in for doing more Marvelous Designer. Don't quite know what yet, but yeah, I think the project in Unreal Engine is built. I'm going to go and upload that now to that to the Ko-fi product, and let's meet here again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you hopefully again soon. Bye bye.